Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has imposed a state of emergency in Rivers State, sacking the state governor, Simi Fubara, and the deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, and the State House of Assembly. What President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done was a violation of the Constitution, just as the sacking of Joshua Dariye and the Plateau State House of Assembly in 2004 was declared as an illegality. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And in this video, we're going to show you the similarity between what Obasanjo did then and what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done, and citing the ruling of the Supreme Court in respect of Plateau, you will know that what Tinubu did was a violation of the Constitution. And if Simi Fubara goes to court, he will win based on this Supreme Court judgment. In fact, it was as a result of this Supreme Court judgment that made Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, when he declared state of emergency, threat for Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa, he never removed the state governors, he never dissolved the State House of Assemblies because of this judgment. And that's what we're going to look at in this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, the Supreme Court of Nigeria declared the state of emergency that was imposed on Plateau State in 2004 by President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration as illegal because it violated the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The ruling was based on the following key legal and constitutional grounds. 1. Unconstitutional suspension of democratic institution, which was exactly what Tinubu did by suspending by the governor and the State House of Assembly. Unconstitutional suspension of democratic institution. This is what the Supreme Court said in respect to Plateau State. He said that President Obasanjo, in declaring the state of emergency in Plateau State on May 18, 2004, suspended the elected governor, Joshua Dariye, and the State House of Assembly, and appointed a sole administrator. The Supreme Court said the 1999 Constitution, Section 305, provided for a state of emergency, but does not empower the president to remove an elected governor or dissolve the state legislature. The Supreme Court ruled that such actions violated the principles of democracy and federalism enshrined in the Constitution. Number 2, the violation of constitutional procedure. The Supreme Court also held that while the president has the power to declare a state of emergency, it must follow due process. According to Section 305, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution, a state of emergency must be declared by the president due to an emergency situation, such as breakdown of law and order. Can you say that there was a breakdown of law and order in Rivers State when Tinubu declared this state of emergency? Can you say there was a breakdown of law and order? Because there was a report of bombing of pipeline, or pipeline was blown up, 1 or 2. Was that an indication of a breakdown of law and order in Rivers State? Remember that in 2015, there was massive bombing of pipeline in Niger Delta that led to Nigeria going into a recession, which was worse than what happened in Plateau, in Rivers State. The bombing that took place, it just about one or two facility pipeline that were allegedly bombed. Was that a breakdown of law and order? Weren't people in Rivers State going about their normal business? Okay. So the Supreme Court was saying that according to Section 305(3) of the 1999 Constitution, a state of emergency must be declared by the President due to an emergency situation, such as breakdown of law and order. And it has to be approved by the National Assembly within 14 days to remain valid. The Supreme Court found Obasanjo acted unilaterally without following the proper constitutional steps, making the proclamation illegal. So it's just similar to what you have gotten, what we have now in Rivers State. Now, number 3 point that the Supreme Court pointed out in analyzing the emergency that was declared by Obasanjo was that it was a breach of separation of powers and federalism. Nigeria operates a federal system, meaning that governments have their own constitutional powers and autonomy. The removal of Governor Joshua Dariye and the suspension of the Plateau State House of Assembly were seen as a direct violation of federalism, as the Constitution does not grant the President such powers. The Supreme Court ruled that only the National Assembly or a competent court that can remove an elected governor and not the President. So the Supreme Court was clear. The President has no powers to remove an elected governor anywhere in Nigeria, including Rivers State. That's what the Supreme Court has shown in their ruling. Number 4, there was lack of justification for the sole administrator. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed a sole administrator for Rivers State. Vice Admiral Ebas retired. That was an illegality, according to the Supreme Court, based on their declaration of appointment of Chris Ali was the sole administrator appointed by Obasanjo to oversee Plateau State. That was declared an illegality. And let us see what the Supreme Court said about the appointment of a sole administrator. According to the Supreme Court, Obasanjo replaced the governor, that's Governor Dariye, with Major General Chris Ali, retired, as the sole administrator, a move that had no legal backing in the Constitution. A move that has no legal backing in the Constitution. So this Vice Admiral Ebas that he appointed was an illegality, which is exactly what the Constitution was saying, what the Supreme Court was ruled in 2004 in the case of Plateau State. The appointment of General Chris Ali, was a violation of the Constitution because it has no backing in the Constitution. The Supreme Court ruled that the Constitution does not provide for the appointment of a sole administrator for a state, making the decision unlawful. Then number 5 was a judicial review and restoration of democratic governance. The Supreme Court ruling invalidated the suspension of Governor Joshua Dariye and the State Assembly, emphasizing that any crisis should be resolved within the framework of the Constitution. So what Tinubu did was an extrajudicial something that he did by suspending Simi Fubara and the State House of Assembly. And that is not what the law said it should be. And the Supreme Court said there is an illegality. That's not a way to resolve the Rivers crisis. There are ways to resolve it, and it is within the framework of the Constitution to do so. So the ruling of the Supreme Court in the case of Plateau State reaffirmed the supremacy of the constitutional democracy, ensuring that future declarations of a state of emergency must strictly adhere to constitutional provisions. So the Supreme Court was very clear on how to declare a state of emergency. You cannot remove the governor. You cannot dissolve the State House of Assembly. You cannot appoint a sole administrator. These are violations of the Constitution. That was why former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, being aware of these Supreme Court rulings, that on the Plateau State, in case of Plateau State, was very careful when he declared state of emergency in Northeast at the height of Boko Haram insurgency. Okay? So, be clear about it. The Supreme Court declared that the 2024 Plateau State emergency declaration was illegal because it violated the Nigerian Constitution, undermined democracy, and breached federalism. This landmark judgment set a precedent for limiting executive overreach, because what Tinubu did was executive overreach, and ensuring that emergency powers are exercised within constitutional boundaries. Like I said, it was because of this Supreme Court ruling. That was why when former President Goodluck Jonathan declared a state of emergency in 3 Nigerian states as a result of Boko Haram insurgency. These states were Adamawa, Plateau, and Yobe. In May 2013, Jonathan did that without removing the state governors or sacking the state assemblies of Adamawa, Borno, or Yobe states. They were allowed to stay intact in line with the Constitution. So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has to retrace his step by recalling back Fubara to his seat and recalling back the State House of Assembly in line with the Supreme Court ruling, standard precedent on this matter. Or on the alternative, he has to wait for Fubara to go to court to challenge this constitutional violation, the way Joshua Dariye challenged it and the Supreme Court ruled in his favor. I don't know what to think about this. The Supreme Court has made it clear. Of course, you can say that 2004 Supreme Court is different from today's Supreme Court, but that is the standard so far. Perhaps this Supreme Court we have now, who knows what they will say, but the standard has been set in 2004 when the Supreme Court looked at Obasanjo's declaration of state of emergency in Plateau State and the steps Obasanjo took that was considered a violation of the Constitution was exactly the same step President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took when he declared the state of emergency in Plateau State. The president that followed the due process in declaring state of emergency was Goodluck Ebele Jonathan when he declared state of emergency in Plateau, in Yobe, Borno, and Adamawa, in line with the Constitution, in line with the laid down principles set by the Constitution and as confirmed by the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I don't know what to think about this, but this is a fact to show that there is hope for Simi Fubara to reclaim his state back. And there is also a need for the president to retrace his step. He has to go and look at what the Supreme Court said in 2004 and know that he was ill-advised to sack Fubara and the Rivers State House of Assembly. That's my take on this. I don't know what you think about this, but whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.